Hi everyone, and welcome to this video on percentages of an amount. Now, percentages, they're quite often feared by people. There is no need, and actually you can pretty much do every percentage question with just one method. Despite books telling you all these different ones, I am a massive fan of just one method. So, the first thing I want you to do, and I want you to pause the video to do this, is just see, do you have confidence with numbers? Here's a fact. 200 is 100%. That could be the amount of money in your bank account, £200. That's everything you own. That's 100% of your money. And I want you to write down 5 easy facts, what you would consider an easy fact, and write 5 hard facts, what you would consider to be hard. Start with the easy and see how it goes, and when you're ready, press play and we'll see if ours match up. Okay. So you may have been a bit too ambitious with the easy facts. What I would say is 100 is equal to 50%. That's easy, isn't it? Halving it. And what that does, it then opens up another fact for me, because if I can half that again, well, I can get 25%. And I would get 50. I could add those together. I could get 75%. These are all things I would consider easy. I'd expect you already to be able to do. You might have got a bit stuck here, but it then comes down to confidence, and you should be able to look at this number and say, well, I can half it, but I tell you what else I can do really easily is I can divide it by 10. So that means 5% would be, if I'm dividing this by 10, I'm dividing by 100 by 10 as well. Well, and you may from there be able to divide this one by 5. Or rather than using this one, you could have gone back to here and just divide this one by 10 and this one by 10, and we get to 20. Or you could multiply this one by 2. I would consider that to be pretty easy facts, because all I'm doing is halving and doubling or dividing by 10. So nothing strenuous. Let's have a look at some harder facts. Well, do you know what? I would have been really impressed with this. 2.5%, I would have been, yeah, good work. But is that hard? Not really, because I'm just dividing by 10. But if I said to you at the start of this video, find 2.5% of 200, a lot of you would have just turned off straight away. We can do the same thing here. We could say 7.5%. Well, that is 15. Well, I'll tell you what else we could have done. We could have said 20%. You might not think that's hard, but you can't often go there straight away. So using this one, I could have gone to 20% is 40. Let's times this one by 2. I should have written in here, divide by 10, divided by 10. I'm going to stop there when I move on. But what makes these harder is that you have to use an easier fact to get them. So a lot of people, they get put off by these red questions because they look quite hard, but the secret of percentages is have confidence, write down some easy facts, and can use any of them to manipulate and get your final answer. So here we're going to do all of these from 600. So you can pause the video, have a go at filling it in on your own if you want to. We're going to start with 50%. So 50% I'm going to divide by 2, because there's two 50% and 100%, so I half it. So that's going to be 300. Now, I could, if I wanted to, divide by 4. I'm not going to do that, because there's 4 25% and 100% if you're wondering why. But it's easier for me to go from here to here by halving. And please remember, dividing by 4 is halving and then halving again. 75%, I definitely can't divide this by something, well, not an easy number anyway, to get to 75%. But I can add these two together, so that would give me 450. Now, you'll notice I've written the next two in red, so I'm going to write the answers in red as well. And the reason is, these are the most important percentages, and you can answer pretty much every percentage question with this knowledge. So to find 10%, well, how many 10% are there in 100%? Well, there's 10, of course. So if I divide by 10, I get 10%, which is 60. Well, how many 1% are there in 100%? 100. So I'm going to divide by 100, and that is 6. Now all the rest of these can be easily worked out with these two red ones. For example, 20% is 2 lots of 10%, but to work out 20, I find 10 first. So that's 120. 5%, I'm also going to use 10%, and I'm going to half it this time, and I get 30. But that's not the only way I could have done it. I could have used 1% and times it by 5, for example. I could have done 1% and times it by 20 to get here. Percentages are about choosing the easiest path for you. 3%, I'm going to go to my 1%, I'm going to times it by 3, so I want 3 of them, I get 18. Wow, 23%, now that's definitely harder, but not if I use my 20% answer and my 3% answer. I found those facts quite easily. To make a harder fact, I can just add those together and I get 138. Now 28%, well that's 23% plus another 5. So that is 168. So these more challenging questions like 28 and 23, I use an easy fact, I make another easy fact, and then I combine them to make a harder answer. That's it. So let's have a look at some more standard questions. Find 84% of 200. Right, well, 10% and 1% are the important ones, so we're going to find those first. 10% divided by 10, 20. 1% divided by 100, 2. Now how can I use these easy facts to get something near 84, or even 84 itself? Well, let's make 80%. Let's times this by 8. So 80% is 8 of these, which is 160. If you're not that confident, you could have found 50%, 100, and then 3 of those, add it all together. But if you can go from 10 to 80, then do it. Well, 1%, I can easily change that into 4%, can't I? But times them by 4, and that is 8. And look how I've written these. I've written the units, tens, and hundreds in a column, which means it's very easy for me now to add them up. So 0 add 8 is 8, 6, 1. There we go. Well, 12.5% decimals tend to freak everyone out, but let's just use this 10% for this one, and I'll show you why. 10% divided by 10, oh, didn't mean to change the colour, is 80. Well, if I half this one, I get 5%. I get 40. If I half that again, you'll notice I get 2.5%, which is 20. Well, what do I need to answer this question? I need both of these, and I need to add them together. So 12.5% is equal to 100. 22% of 300. So let's write down the important facts. So 10%, and I'm going to use 1% as well for this one. So 10% is 30 divided by 10. 1% divided by 100, I get 3. So to do this one, I want 20% and I want 2%. Well, I'm going to use the 10 and double it to make 20, so that's going to give me 60. 1%, I'm also going to times that one by 2, and I get 6. All my units are lined up correctly. So, not 12% was that, it's 22% is 66. Now 36%, let's do exactly the same before. So 10%, 1%. Let's just show you a couple of ways of doing this one. So 10% divided by 10, 720. 1%, 72. Now, 30%, I think you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to times this one by 3. So 700 times 3 is 2,100, plus 3 of those is 60. That's that. If you're no good in your head, 720 times 3. 0 times 3 is 0. 2 times 3 is 6. 7 times 3 is 21. Bosh. Right, 6%, you know, I could go for 5 and 1. But I just don't do that. I'm just going to go for 6%, and I'm going to times this by 6. So 72 multiplied by 6. 2 6s are 12. Carry the 1. 7 times 6 is 42. Add the 1. 43. Again, look how I'm writing it down. Units, tens, hundreds, thousands. So my 36% is 2952. Done. 2,592. Super Mega Learner question. Here we go. 3.4%. Pause the video. Have a go. Who cares if you can't get it? I don't. I'm going to show you a super easy way you're going to kick yourself at the end, because some of you will make this really hard. Okay, here we go. 10%. 1%. They're the only facts I'm going to use. 10%, 240. 1%, 24. Units, tens, hundreds, all lined up. Now, what I'm actually going to try and do is find 34%. The reason is, if I divide that by 10, I get 3.4. If you've been finding 0.1% and times it, oh, that's so much harder. Just keep it simple, find the easiest route there. So let's find 30%. 3 of those. So I'm going to do this up here. 240 times 3, 0, 12, carry the 1, 2 3s to 6, add the 1, 720. 4%, I'm going to double it and double it again, 4896. So therefore my 34% is 6, carry the 11, so 1 carry 1, and 8. So that's 816 up here. So therefore, if I divide this by 10, I divide this by 10, and I get 81.6. Really hard, challenging question at the start of the video you would have not wanted to do. Hopefully now you can see just by times it by 2, times it by 3, dividing by 10, halving, those easy skills, you can answer any question on percentages easily. Good luck everyone.